Now, finally, the last segment on this week's podcast, we are gonna talk about the plans to close the Mandai Public Golf Course, as you see here. All right. So yeah, essentially it came out on the news, right? 2 days ago. So today is the 28th. It came out on the 26th that the Mandai Executive Golf Course at Upper Seletar Reservoir is gonna be closed, and it's gonna make way for more ODEC. I guess okay, I shouldn't say ODEC. Outdoor learning, outdoor adventure learning centers, right? For it to be developed. So this is after the expiry of the tenancy, okay, of that particular piece of land. So if you're wondering where that is, all right, it's right here. Okay, very very near. Oh, this is bringing back a lot of I guess yeah, cause okay, just for some context, Nisun Camp was where I did my NS. All right, so yeah, it's here. Okay, it's very very near, just opposite the Singapore Zoo. All right. And it's essentially right smack in the middle. Okay, I shouldn't say in the middle, because obviously this whole area is the central water catchment area. All right, that's why you have 2 and even 3 reservoirs here, okay, serving one of our 4 national taps. All right. And this particular golf course here is gonna be closed. Okay, so this article says, right, MOE is going to consolidate 8 outdoor adventure education sites to 4 locations, alright, so that all schools can conduct upper primary and lower secondary cohort camps at these locales. So we are talking about your Sec 1 camps, Sec 2 camps, Sec 3 camps, blah blah blah, alright, and all that. So for instance, when I was in primary school, I think, oh god, when was this? P4. Yeah, when I was in P4, this would be donkey years ago. So, oh my gosh, 2 decades ago. All right. Yeah, 21 years ago. Okay. The place that I went to for my P4 camp was this place called Sarimbun Camp. I believe it's still there. All right. And I'm pretty sure many of you would have experienced that place also. Very, very cool place, but obviously, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's where you go and do all your outdoorsy stuff, right? Outdoor stuff. So the 4 consolidated locations will include the existing MOE Outdoor Adventure Learning Center at Dairy Farm, Bukit Timah. So we are at KAP, King Albert Park. Is actually very very near our center here. Okay, and 2 new centers in Mandai and Sembawang. Alright. Now, of course, the ones who are the most disappointed, I guess, would be your coaches, okay? Golf coaches who said that the announcement was sudden and came with no prior notice. And of course, here the thing is that, Mandai Executive Golf Course is one of the very few public golf courses, okay, in Singapore, all right. And of course, once it is gone, because the other 2 have already been closed, pretty much. According to Mr. Bobby Poe here, the public will not have anywhere else to go, right? And there are, of course, other clubs out there where you can play golf, but those are private clubs, alright? So golf will be made less accessible to the average player in Singapore, okay? There'll be little to no exposure for the public to try it out. Sorry, I'm very distracted by the Dune trailer here, because, gosh, I really, really want to go and watch it, but I haven't had time. I haven't caught Dune 1 yet. I really wanna go and watch Dune, oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go, right? Now, of course, the main thing here is that, you know, less people will get access to playing golf in Singapore, right? And you know, there will be less areas to cultivate an interest in the sport in itself, because obviously golf is a game that requires a lot of space, all right? And clearing out this land to develop the outdoor adventure learning club, essentially that's what that does is it allows more options for schools in Singapore to plan all these, you know, activities, outdoor adventure activities in all these places. Although given all the recent cases of okay, to be clear, I'm not laughing at it because I think it's funny, but because it's just so morbid in that sense. Yeah, all these cases of negligence by a lot of all these vendors, there's a lot of work to do there to make sure that, you know, all these things are properly done, right, with the proper safety measures in place. I mean, of course, you know, it's definitely on a case-by-case basis and freak accidents happen, but if it occurs due to negligence, then yeah, more need to be done, right? But anyway, yeah, so just a quick contextual breakdown here. To be clear, right, golf is actually quite popular in Singapore, as you would imagine, a sport that has quite a bit of barrier to entry, I suppose, although it of course depends on what options you go for, but the equipment can be quite pricey. Alright, even your cheapest decent ones will set you back a few $100s, right? And that's just one like club and all that. You still need all the other equipment. But the thing is that despite this, not everyone can afford it. Okay. So yeah. And should I address the elephant in the room? I guess so, right? Golf culture is not the strongest here in Singapore. Okay, let's just face it, it's not the strongest here. If you go out there, right, to any typical neighborhood school or to any typical member of the public who is essentially living a middle income lifestyle or lower income lifestyle, and you go up to them and you ask them, hey, what are your thoughts on the Mandai Executive Golf Course closing? Alright, they would tell you, and in fact when I first saw this news also, I was like, great, who cares? Let's just face it, okay, even though golf is a very popular sport here, it is typically a sport that, whether it's fair or unfair, right, it is associated with people of a certain socio-economic status. So yeah, so what we have here really is that you have the government making trade-offs, in short. Okay, they are sacrificing some aspects, all right, of sport, okay, as a whole, so that they can create something that would serve the greater good.
About the greater good.
The greater good.
How can this
I mean, yeah, you know, if I use that phrase, I'm gonna have to use that scene from Hot Fast, you know, so yeah. Okay, yeah, if you're wondering which scene or rather which film that scene came from, it's Hot Fast, alright? Stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, directed by the, you know, the maestro Edgar Wright, right? One of the funniest comedies I've ever seen in my life. So yeah. Alright, so in using this particular example in your essays, I think it would serve in questions like this. How far is participation in sport encouraged in your society? Now, when we talk about golf as a whole, as I said earlier, right? Yes, it is popular, but it does not serve any purpose in building national identity. Alright, you can argue on that as much as you want, but you know, I'll raise you just a couple of examples. Football, swimming, right? These two. Okay, so the thing is that, we can encourage, or rather Singapore certainly encourages a lot of sport for a couple of reasons. Number one, to promote a healthier lifestyle, okay, because of an increasing preponderance of lifestyle diseases, like me over here, right? Number two, it also helps cultivate their national identity. Okay, so when we talk about Singapore expanding the donation funds for all the sports, in budget 2024, yeah, okay, yeah, all these other sports serve to build our national identity much more, simply on the basis that it is much more relatable, right? Or at least in the context of Singapore. So if you want to use this particular example for this question, what you can do is you can use it as an evaluative point by pointing out that yes, sport is encouraged, but certain sports are given more priority than others. Golf, clearly, in making all these moves, not the biggest priority. Not the biggest priority. Okay? It may be for people who can afford it, or for people who genuinely have a passion for it, but let's be real, again, okay, not everyone is interested in golf. In fact, I will say the majority of Singaporeans who are middle income or low income in Singapore, like even I myself, why would we care about all these sports going away? Why would we, right? So I mean, yeah, that's just the reality of the situation here. Of course, for certain programs that may be in place, right, and I'm not aware of any, but if you are, let's say you're a golf coach and you run a company doing all these things, I presume, right, you would be trying to do some outreach things to try and help certain communities and certain, let's say, at-risk youths, right, by giving them something to be passionate about. And if those are affected, definitely that's not a good thing. But again, making trade-offs, right? So if there are any O-level students watching this will also serve in your SS analysis. So yeah, that's that on this particular segment. And yeah, so we have come to the end of this week's podcast, right? Just a quick reminder, if you want to ask any questions, okay, or to just simply have a discussion, please submit your question here using this link, the discourseeducation.com.sg/discourse education podcast. All right. Do follow us on our socials. That's where we post updates on our regular lessons and all that. And of course, if you're interested in H2 history or general paper or O-levels English tuition, please feel free to contact us, right? And all our contact details will be on our website, as you can see right there. So yeah, that will be it, guys, for this week. Hope you have a good week ahead. Okay, we are literally in midweek, I guess. Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday today. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So yeah, that's that for this week's episode. And have a great day ahead. Have a great week ahead. And I will see you guys next time.